Hello, everyone. Welcome to this segment of Inside. My name is Ricky Persaud Jr., and with me here today is a very special guest. He is a professional dancer and producer. We have Wiz, everyone. How you doing, Wiz?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
The first thing I want to do is, introduce yourself to everyone at home.
Okay. My name is Wiz. I've been dancing for 7 years. I primarily do hip hop and a little bit of contemporary, a little mixture and stuff like that. And I go to school at Montclair State University, and I'll be graduating this semester.
Woo!
So,
Yeah, man. I love someone who's dedicated. I want to ask, how did you get started with dancing and all that stuff?
so one of my friends who went to the same school and then, well, another school in the same building as my school, I saw him dancing, and right then and there, like a light bulb just came in front of my head, and I just was like, okay, that's what I want to do. Because right before that, in middle school, I was doing martial arts, and after that, I stopped, and I was just looking for a hobby to do. So I tried volleyball, tennis, basketball, like football. Certain stuff stuck, certain things didn't, and it just I don't know. I didn't really feel none of the other stuff, but for some reason, just watching him dance, I was just like, okay,
You
that's
just
what I
knew
want
that
to
was
do.
that was your calling.
Yeah, so I just basically asked him what style of dance it was, and when I saw him doing it to a style that I already knew about from Jersey called Jersey Club, I was surprised because the Jersey Club dancing I knew was very different than what he was doing. So, he really brought me into that world, and I remember definitely like my 4 years of high school. Every day I would come home from school and turn on YouTube and just study. So I would go on. I found out about different dance crews in Jersey, you know, and I was very surprised because I'm like, some of the events was around the corner from my house. So I was like, how could I not know about this?
Are
Like,
there a lot of them in Jersey right now?
yes, a lot of them. It's slowed down for a little bit, but they starting to pick back up. A lot of different events. We have something called the dojo, you know, the Dynasty Ciphers. Where a lot of time when I started dancing in 2012, that's when I was battling there at the Dynasty Ciphers. That's where I grew up in those type of events. But it stopped, but it's slowly picking back up this year. So it has like plenty of different events.
Let me get this right. You started dancing when you was 13,
I was 13. Yep.
and you're 20 now.
Yep. 20 now.
Man,
So
he's showing me up, man. I started music when I was 2, and I wasn't that good at. How many? That was like 7 years, right?
7 years.
That's
Yep.
insane, man. You
Yeah.
can dance like that. I mean, for all the viewers at home who want to also, dance and all that stuff, what's the training that goes into it? Like, what's the daily, or at least when you started, how many hours did you put in a day for, training?
So I would say, all right, I like to cut it up like this. So like when I was in high school, that's why I did majority of like the hard training. So I'll say 1 to 2 hours every day, and then I'll do my homework, and then after I'll probably like maybe squeeze in another hour, just cause like I was just on fiend mode, really. That's what I like to call it. I was just, I lived, I just lived and sleep dance. Like I would always just be looking at different styles and stuff like that. So like I said, when I used to go on YouTube, I would make sure to look at something and then I'll practice. So I looked at the stuff in Jersey. Then after a while, I'll go to New York, then Atlanta, then Texas, Cali. Those are like the main big dance states in the U.S. Then I start watching, European, like in the European dance scene and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy big. So it's like I really exposed myself to so many different styles and so many different textures of dance that I just kind of like was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this. I'm gonna focus on this. So I'm focus on this. So I try to give myself different drills and challenges, stuff like that. So, for example, like just do a certain thing to a whole song. That's actually very hard to do, especially when you're just starting. So
What do you
it's
mean by
like,
thing?
so for example, like if I were to do just a particular style of footwork to a whole song, and I'll put my phone on shuffle, or I'll go to a specific like genre of which is going to match the style I'm doing,
Yeah.
and try to dance to the whole song. And these songs be 2 to 3 minutes long, so it's very difficult because it's like then I was trying to build my I'll call my move set. So make sure I don't repeat moves and stuff like that or different transitions. I'm like, okay, I have my front, I have my side, I have
Yeah.
my back. So this it's just so many different things. It was just a lot I was trying to drill into myself, and I would always like be looking at different videos, and I'll look at it over and over and over again. I'll look at it the first time and be like, wow, all these big moves, and then I'll look at it again and be like, okay, that's what he's doing. He's turning his body like that, you know. He's doing things like that. It's a lot of different mechanics that go into a lot of stuff we do. So, everything isn't just always about, just big moves and all this other stuff. A lot of things is the control, the practice, the training that comes with it.
And
So.
bouncing off of that training, right? How many hours do you think is a healthy, like daily, like how many hours should you put into it? Because I feel like a lot of, people who want to be dancers or musicians, they put in insane hours like a day, and it's detrimental, to the health, the social life. What's your take on that? Like, how much should they put into the training and all that?
I believe everyone is different, but I do believe that if you want to be, very hardworking and putting a lot of time and stuff like that, that will work for you in the beginning. But then after a while, at least for me, I feel I'm only speaking for myself. I did it when I was in high school, but once I got to college, it was very hard because transitioning from high school to college, it was really hard for me to do because I'm like, okay, I had a system, this class, this class, this class. In college, yeah, it is this class, this class, this class, but I could go whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't there's a few teachers who, weigh grades basically on, attendance, but some teachers don't. Sometimes I didn't have to go where I feel like it, or I would take the train there, and I don't know. It's just it's a lot of different things that's coming at you. So I wasn't always able to train very hard, but I'm glad I did it when my first 4 years. I'm so happy I did it because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't be able to, go how I am now. So.
And I feel like that there's less,
Yeah.
less responsibilities to deal with in high school than college.
Yeah, so it was just easier to do a lot of things. Like you just do your homework, that's it. But now it's like I have a job. Well,
Yeah.
if anything, I have 2 jobs now.
I feel that.
So, like it's a lot of different things. But now it's like when I do practice, if I'm not feeling a really hard, we call it labbing. So we get into a space and we just create or work on things that we already know to make them better. So if I didn't want to have a crazy sweating lab, that's what I'm calling it, I would just work on the basics. Sometimes when you're advanced, you just think is just you may hit a ceiling and you're just like, all right, dang, I don't know how else to get better. Sometimes by going to the basics and just mastering the box instead of trying to think outside the box is gonna make you better. I could always become cleaner. Could always become sharper.
Yeah.
So it's just because dance is visual. So if I could make myself more appealing to the eye, it's great.
Let's talk a little bit about yourself. Like, what are you up to now? Like what are you doing? What's your
So a few days ago, Sunday, I just finished performing alongside with Unique. She's an
Sweet.
artist, a DJ, a vocalist, producer. She had a DJ set at Afropunk. So shout outs to her. I was one of the dancers
Sweet.
performing on stage with her. We started practicing in July. To be honest, I should also be more detailed. We only really practiced 5 times, to be honest.
5 times?
Yes, to be honest.
Oh my
Because
God.
I would say like, oh, you only practiced in July, and you like, oh, you had the whole month? No. We only practiced 5 times out that whole time. Because a lot of different things going on, but it came out well.
And what span did you have those 5 times in?
Okay, so
Like within a week or like a month?
within a month. If I remember correctly, we practiced one day and 1 week, and then the other times was like in the last 2 weeks.
That's showbiz for you folks. That's,
So it was a lot of things going on because she was on tour. 2 of the other dancers had to travel somewhere in Canada somewhere. So it was a lot of different things going on. So
and also, I heard you're a part of a dance group too.
yeah, so I co-created a dance group called EVO. Me and 3 of my friends actually, came together on a phone call, and was like, let's do it. Now, I was more serious than they were, but it was just something for them to do. So certain things you may start to do and you kind of grow out of. This is my life. I love it. I love the journey. I love everything that comes with it. As far as you get a lot of attention, but I like it. I like being able to share the art stuff.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
gotta love it. You gotta.
So that I keep. I'm still leading the crew. I've been leading the crew for since it started, and I always try to make sure that we're always posting content.
Yeah.
Anytime we don't have gigs, I'm always saying let's create content and for videos stuff like that because we're in a digital age, so people need to seed
course.
content. If you want, promote your brand, you always gotta promote content. You can't just say like, all right, this is my brand. Where's the content to go with it? So we need, I'm just working. Everything's work in progress. Cause I'm focusing on a lot of different things at once. Focusing on myself, music, trying to get auditions, the crew. It's a lot of different stuff, but
And speaking of, your group and just yourself in general, do you have any upcoming gigs and all that?
No, we don't have any gigs. That's why, focusing more on like video projects.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So we have a lot of choreography that I just want to turn them into visuals, and just show art, And I just feel like as a crew, we're more on just trying to make sure everyone is good.
Yeah.
So anytime I come across different work, and I could bring more people with me,
Yeah.
you know who I'm coming to first.
Yes.
My family, like, I always make sure everyone's good, make sure everyone's like the communication is there and stuff like that. Of course, dealing with people is going to be frustrations going on. I'm gonna get frustrated.
Of course,
it's going to be a lot of different things, but for the most part, it's more pros than cons. So, those are my peoples and my family.
So to finish this interview off, I want to make sure everyone, follows you and, keeps up to doing, keep up to date of what you're doing with your group and just you as a solo artist and all that. So, where they can follow you.
Mostly on Instagram. That's where most of my content is on there. I have some of my stuff on YouTube on the team page. So as far as my Instagram is concerned, is Wiz Dance a Lot all together. As soon as you put Wiz Dance, you should be able to see my my page. I'm the only one that's named that, so I don't have to put no underscores in
originality,
that.
man.
Yeah, only name. And then as far as YouTube is concerned, Team Evo 16. So it's Team EVO 16. As soon as you put that, most of our stuff should come up there. So yeah, I mean, if you DM me,
Yeah, we
or
would
anything,
definitely put the description below
if
for
you
everyone.
ever
to
DM
make
me,
sure.
like, I'm always checking emails and stuff like that. So I always respond as fast as I can.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show,
Thank you.
Wiz. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. This was Inside. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Khalifa.